Hey there, BookTube. Noah, everyone who reads it must converse is the channel. Happy Friday. Yes, another Friday. We've made it. My week has been awesome. It's been an amazing week, actually. Hey, Mark Richardson. Happy Friday, brother. Nice to see you. And a cool day, a cool week at work, all that kind of thing. But behind the scenes, I've been so busy. It's been an amazing bookish week. So I've done some hauling, and you can see some of that stuff from used bookstores and things like that in my area over the last couple of weeks on my Instagram. If you look on my Instagram, hey Nick Voro, happy Friday, brother. Nice to see you. You'll see some of the haul action on my Instagram, but that is not what I'm going to be showing tonight. There's been some amazing happenings. I found an amazing bookseller and it's on. So, um, how's everybody been? The week is an end of summer and everything kind of warm cooling off a little bit, at least here around Atlanta, right? So it's been a cool week as far as being mild like that. I hope everybody's doing good. And yeah, we're going really we're going really strong tonight, Mark. That's for sure. Happy Friday. And yeah, I love Instagram as a medium because a lot of, it's just visual, a lot of great pictures. And if you do like I do, like most of my followers here, I'm sure you do like I do. Your feed is mostly books, right? So when your Instagram feed is mostly books, I mean, it's fantastic to look through your Instagram whenever you have a few minutes, right? Hey Conrob, happy Friday. And thanks for coming by. Always awesome to see you. We're getting to some awesome epic stuff tonight. Y'all ain't ready. Okay, I'm gonna give it a little bit of time, let some people get into the door. We're at 2.5 minutes, so I'll probably start the unboxing in a little while. But I want to get people in the door. I shared an amazing um, reel earlier in the week, which is kind of like my favorite additions of things that I own. And of course, it has like, 45 views, right? Like nothing, right? Just like, I mean, but it's everybody that follows my channel, people that follow my channel and really have the bell on, things like that. Sure. And so I love it. That's why I share the content. But a far cry from a week ago, right? When I shared that reel of just random stuff, didn't have anything to do with books, but just kind of said, sorry, I'm not going to do the live tonight. And that reel gets over 800, 900 views now, maybe close to 1,000, right? It's ridiculous. So I wanted to go ahead and give the little bit of trivia that was to do with those reels. On my Instagram reel, I shared a song on that reel called So Long Michael by Pierre Ben Susan. And then the acoustic guitar piece that I used on my YouTube short was a song called Ben Susan by Michael Hedges. So the unique little piece of trivia given those two short reels and the songs that I used was that the songs were written for each other. The artists respectively, Pierre Bensusan and Michael Hedges, wrote these songs for each other. So it was just a lot of fun. I love these songs, especially Pierre Bensusan's song, So Long Michael. If you're not familiar, look it up. It is amazing. Amazing. There you go, Emily. Emily had her bell on. Thank you. Hey, baby. Happy Friday. Nice to see you. For sure. Hey, Emily. Emily and Emily. my wife. So awesome. Thank you for coming by. Happy Friday. Awesome. Hey Alexa, happy Friday, brother. Nice to see you. Mm, seems like the people are getting here now. So I'll go ahead and start it off a little bit and just say that this week, you know, I slowed up on the ginge. I wasn't binging the ginge this week, right? I've kind of slowed up on the Genji. I'm still working my way through it, I got this much left. But, it is getting a bit tiresome. It is an unbelievably um dense work of relationships and love and lust, and it never stops, and I'm kind of wearying of it. Tell you the truth. And I think it's because this is very much written by a woman for women. And it's apparent, especially in this translation, at least. It's apparent that this is a female a viewpoint of life and love and sex and all that, and men, a female view on men, and it's very beautiful and insightful and amazing. I'm just kind of it's getting a little oppressive. Yeah, there you go. Amelie, awesome. There you go. Nice to see everybody, for sure. So, tried Genji 3 times, total fail. I get it, Mark. I've really, I can muscle through some big books. I've muscled through some big books, right? And we have 800. I'm at page 800, and kind of stalled out on it at this point because it's just, it's a bit, it's a lot. It's cool to get into it because there's this kind of, especially reading the Book of the New Sun before I read this, because Gene Wolfe is a really sensual kind of writer, and there is an intense male of energy in Gene Wolfe and the Book of the New Sun. And then I'm reading The Tale of Genji, where there's this intense female energy infused in every word and every line and every characterization. And the way that Murasaki Shikibu does, I had to look at it right, and the way that she does characterization, it's obvious that a woman is looking at these characters. A woman is making these appraisals, and it's beautiful and amazing, and really, really interesting. And I'm getting into it, thinking through that kind of stuff. But it is oppressive. As far as a reading experience, what it is, and I'll leave it at this. I think that Genji is something that I can feel that it's not supposed to be ingested and taken in the way that we read books now, especially not on BookTube, right? You're not supposed to read Genji over the course of 3 weeks, just binging the Genji, right? It's supposed to be, and can be a chapter a week, for your lifetime, and you spend some time away from these characters, and then when Genji's mentioned, or when the characters are mentioned, and you remember their stories, and you know it's kind of like visiting a friend and all these kind of things. That's how uh Genji, is was what it was written for. I think it's very reminiscent of the feel of reading something like David Copperfield by Dickens, right? Or Cervantes, um, Don Quixote, right? Where you're not really looking to read it all back to back, all these chapters. You want to have a chapter and then, live there in your mind for a little while, a few days or a week, and then have another chapter. Have it over the course of a week, and then live there for another week, week and a half, right? Before you have another chapter. These kind of things. So it's just a different kind of reading style, and what I'm what I'm kind of looking for. Okay. 17 folks, 19 folks in the chat. We're looking good. It's fluctuated a bit, but now we're going to get to it. You guys really ain't ready. I have found a bookseller on Instagram, and it was just, she's not a bookseller. She is in a situation that that's exactly right, Alexa. The Tale of Genji is exactly opposite of today's binge culture, right? And just to let you guys know, um, just the type of person that I am, I'm a pleasure delayer. I'm a kind of person that is not interested in instant gratification. If I know gratification is imminent, I would rather, kind of push it off, right? To really enjoy it. That's my style, right? So I'm doing this with the books tonight, and I'm not gonna save the best till last. I'm not gonna do that. But I'm not going to necessarily uh show you the worst first either. But I'll go ahead and start it off because um the haul is amazing. I found a bookseller, and there's very, very few followers on Instagram. And because she's not a bookseller, the name is Rare, and I'm putting it in the chat right now. Rare Vintage Books. That is it. At Rare Vintage Books on Instagram. That's where I got this haul from. And she is a delightful Texan. She's from Texas and is in Texas. And she is involved in a custody battle over a toddler, 1 year old. Maybe he's 13 months, I believe, something like this. I'm not here to comment on the custody battle or whether or not anything like that, but she has an amazing amount of books, an amazing amount of signed and vintage and rare books. I'm about to blow your minds. Y'all are not ready for what I have in this box. And she was doing a buying of estate sales, things like this, and then donating to prisons, things like this. I believe for maybe even just to do it personally, or maybe some kind of nonprofit. I'm not sure. But like I said, I'm not here to comment on the validity or whether or not uh she's in the right in this custody battle. Of course, I believe that if she feels passionate about it, then it's the right thing. We kids, right? Something like this. So let's I wanted to help her. That's what the long story short, I wanted to help. I saw something, and this is a seller that she's not on the map. This rare underscore vintage books is not on the map. If you look at her stuff, there is Samuel R. Delaney first editions, rare books. I've seen too much. I've seen too much. There is an unbelievable amount of stuff, and this is not it that I'm gonna get from Rare Vintage Books. So keep an eye out over the course of the next week. But let's start it off with the most underwhelming of them. The most underwhelming, and I'm going to go ahead and show you a piece of literary criticism that I got from this bookseller, and it is Olaf Stapleton's A Man Divided by Leslie Fiedler. Sorry. Olaf Stapleton is a grandmaster of science fiction, one of these philosophical sci-fi writers that is probably my favorite kind of sci-fi. I love Dune. I love Hyperion. I love Olaf Stapleton. All right. My current Olaf Stapleton holdings are right here. Odd John and Sirius. Odd John is about a being who is a next step in evolution of human beings. So he's odd. He's the odd one out, right? And Sirius is a book. These are two novellas. Sirius is a book about a dog who a human brain is put into a dog, basically, something like that. And it's explored. Uh, Stapleton was a philosophical sci-fi writer. So I got that one. My favorite of all time is Star Maker. If you haven't read Star Maker and you love sci-fi, I don't know what you're doing. This is one of the best. Olaf Stapleton is amazing. And as far as short pieces, I was able to find this little collection called the Olaf Stapleton Reader. You see, and Olaf Stapleton stuff is not easy to come by. So there's pieces from different books and short stories and letters. A letter to Virginia Woolf, letter to H.G. Wells, letter to Gwyneth Albon Davis. These kind of things, awesome. Olaf Stapleton was an amazing writer, but philosophical sci-fi. It's crazy that they put such hard sci-fi stuff on the covers sometimes, right? There you go. Hey, Tom L.A. Books, you are going to lose your mind when you see what I have in this freaking box, brother. Okay, so there's my Olaf Stapleton already. And I'm always looking out for Olaf Stapleton, right? I'm always on the look out for Olaf Stapleton in the bookstores and things like that because you rarely see them, right? Hey, Dalton Gray, IMDb. Okay, so thanks for coming by. Happy Friday. For sure. Yeah. Olaf's letters. Wow, exactly. That Olaf Stapleton Reader is a fantastic book. But this is a piece of literary criticism, A Man Divided by Leslie Feidler. And this is the most unimpressive of what's in this box. So I figured I'd show it first. But there's the man, Olaf Stapleton. Hey Trish, happy Friday. Thanks for coming by. For sure. Killer. So I wanted to see if I had it doesn't look like I have a table of contents at all on this. One of the most imaginative figures to emerge from science fiction, Olaf Stapleton left an incredible mark on many other writers such as Arthur C. Clarke, Saul Bellow, but never won a mass following himself. Kind of a cult writer, right? This study by a renowned American literary critic provides a long-needed introduction to the life and work of the man Brian Aldiss called the greatest classical example of cold pitch of perfection. The cold pitch of perfection as he turns scientific concepts into ontological epic prose poems. The ultimate science fiction writer, Olaf Stapleton. So, I love Olaf Stapleton. When I first read Star Maker, that was it. I mean, I just knew that this was. All good, Lynette. I got you. For sure. Happy Friday. Thanks for coming by. So, Lynette is the one that is behind the rare underscore vintage books on Instagram. Thank you for coming by and thank you for the books. And the toddler in question is Jordan. And so I'm definitely down to help out. And so let's just point that way. I'll have the way to write it in Instagram in the description box. Just go check out what she has, make an offer, and help out. We can help out easily by just doing what we already love, right? Getting books. So since I've already busted the Olaf Stapleton out, I'll go ahead and show the next one in the box, which is a collection of Olaf Stapleton's short stories that I've never seen before. This is Far Future Calling by Olaf Stapleton, edited by Sam Moskowitz with a new authorized biography. And this is a collection of unpublished Uncollected Science Fiction and Fantasies by Olaf Stapleton. This was put out 1979. You can see the little frontispiece there, right? And of course, it is a first edition. Just a beauty, a freaking beauty. And so, finding Olaf Stapleton's short stories is very hard. I mean, you just don't find Stapleton stuff. And this has an introduction by Sam Moskowitz and Olaf Stapleton, the man behind the works, a little introduction biography by Sam Moskowitz as well. But the stories in here that are by Olaf Stapleton are The Man Who Become a Tree. Like Gene Wolfe, Olaf Stapleton also had a lot of interest in plants and botany and these kind of things. So, The Man Who Become a Tree, A Modern Magician, East is West, Arms Out of Hand. East and West kind of calls to mind the idea that, Olaf Stapleton loved paradox and to go to infinities and see what you can do. Arms Out of Hand, A World of Sound, Far Future Calling, the titular story is there. An introduction by Harvey Sadie. I'm not familiar with that name. Interplanetary Man, and then Peace and Olaf Stapleton by Sam Moskowitz as well. So there's a bit of homage in this book to Olaf Stapleton, along with being a collection of some of his short stories, which is great. I mean, a hardcover with every story, every piece has these kind of illustrations with it. I'll give you a few. Far Future Calling is this one here, right? A World of Sound. So, I mean, I'm in awe, okay? And I haven't even showed you anything yet, okay? Pretty cool, huh? Pretty cool. Let's do it. Very cool, Mark. Thank you. Thank you for that, Mark. I'm going to find it. I love Olaf Stapleton. I love Olaf Stapleton. You know it. If you follow my channel, you know it. I'm going to put it on its side for now, but I'm sure it's going to find its way sitting up by the end of this, right? Hey, Fit to be Read. Oh, happy Friday, brother, in the house. One of my sci-fi buds here. And bro, you will not be disappointed by tonight. I haven't even showed you nothing yet. Hey, Jim Reads Too Slow. Happy Friday. Nice to see you. Yes. Happy Friday. Jim Reads Too Slow. I loved your last wrap up, man. It's cool. Great to hear you talk about books. Yes. Very cool. I'll definitely show him or mention it to him. Have him check it out, Mark. I'd love to get closer to Sean. He's got such a breadth of knowledge. Sean really kind of pushes me, makes me crazy. Are you kidding me right now? Hey, Tom L.A. Books, Red Star Maker, yes. Some parts are a little slow, but sure. I mean, it's not really a novel, right? Structurally and whatever. I mean, it's not really a novel. We don't have any names of characters that are not. It's just so weird. There's my member. Somebody's a member of the channel, y'all. It's my mom. Happy Friday, Mom. Thank you for coming by. Awesome. Y'all are so cool. I swear. Oh, yeah. I mean, Star Maker is just an unbelievable narrative, right? Yep. A real unappreciated master of the genre. So, and I'll let you know that that's the Olaf Stapleton that I got. I got Far Future Calling, and I got that literary criticism, right? So those are just some amazing finds, right? But they're nothing. compared to what I'm about to show you. Yes. It's okay. All good, all good. Oh, I bet it is. I bet it is, brother. But I can't wait to see it. And um, you know, you can check me out whenever you want. That's right. Mama Clement's in the house. You're so lucky, Mark. I swear. Idget Reads and Rambles is Quentin. What a guy. One of my favorites. One of my favorite guys. I love it. Quentin, Idget Reads and Rambles, is reading Genji with me right now. Hey, Christina. Christina, happy Friday. That's right. Mama Downtown. There you go. There you go. Get him, Mama. That's right. That's right. It's easy to go back to, Richardson. Get it, baby. Okay. Are you ready, guys? I'm going to show you another. Are you ready? This, I mean, I was like, when I saw it, I said, I have to have it. I have to have it. Jorge Luis Borges, In Praise of Darkness. This is a first edition paperback. Maybe Dutton did a hardcover and not and did a paperback alongside. Sometimes they're put out at the same time, but this does say straight up first edition. There are copyrights for certain stories in certain parts because Borges was published in certain collections, right? But this is In Praise of Darkness by Borges. So, if you follow the channel and you know what I got and you see what I love, you know that I got a first edition Borges Book of Sand, right? Um, what a find that was. But this is just one of those things that when I saw it, I was like, I would never, I never expected. I'm always looking out for Borges, and you never know when or how you're going to find. This is 1969 is when Borges put this out, and I got my other copy of. Hold on, this is my collected fictions, and I have it out because it's just real easy to see how In Praise of Darkness fits. It is right before Brody's Report and right after The Maker. So Borges really uh, got on an amazing level when he was doing fictions, right? And then he did The Aleph, right? He did Artifices, but fictions came out in 1944. And then The Aleph came out in 1949. I mean, Borges had to be completely established as a heavyweight there. The Maker came out in 1960, and The Maker is really, really cool and really good. But Borges has started losing his sight by this time. So, In Praise of Darkness came out in 1969, 9 years after The Maker, right? And 1 year before Brody's Report. And Brody's Report is amazing. You'll see some, videos on my channel going through all kinds of Borges short stories. I love Borges, so I'm always looking out for him. But the whole idea is the whole thing is that first edition Borges are translated by Norman Thomas di Giovanni, and Norman Thomas di Giovanni worked with Borges to collect his stuff into English, right? And since Borges passing and all that, the estate, I guess, has a problem with this translation, with the estate of Norman Thomas de Giovanni. Can't come to an agreement. It's just ridiculous. So now all these works that Borges has been instrumental in translating because he wanted to do right translations of what he meant and all this, um, are not available. They're not available because there's a problem with the estate and how these things are looked at, and they've commissioned all new in translations, right? The publishing houses have commissioned all new translations so that they can publish these things, and they have to be different. They have to be different from what Borges wanted, right? They have to be different or else they couldn't publish them. So it's just such a I mean, it's a losing battle for us readers that want what Borges wanted us to have as English readers, right? So I want the first editions. I do, because I want to hear how they were translated by Borges himself, which is this is the closest we're going to get. The Thomas de Giovanni editions. The poems collected here, Borges had said, are the finest he has written since 1929 with an actual book in mind. After the onset of his blindness in the 1950s, he turned increasingly to the writing of poetry rather than short stories, because he could work on the lines of a poem in his memory. The darkness in the title, says Borges, stands for both blindness and death. In addition to the English translations, this volume here contains the definitive Spanish language text, which to date exists in no other edition of these writings. And probably since either, right? Since the problem with the estates and things, right? In Praise of Darkness is very dark. It is very there's this kind of thing because he's facing blindness, right? There is something amazing in here, and I'll catch up with the chat before I show you what's in this book. It's so cool. It's not a letter from Borges and not a letter to Borges or anything like that. Um, it's kind of like that, but it's not that. This is one of the poetry and short fiction collections that he put out during his life, Mark. Yes. I mean, Borges loves storytelling and all storytelling, right? For sure. You should give Borges another shot, Quentin. Give him a shot until you love him. You keep it up until you love him. Hello, Michael and Match. Happy Friday, brother. Nice to see you. Nice. You got Nick Boro's book. Fantastic. Fantastic. There's my boy Nick. Nice to see you, bro. Always good. Yes. Loving it. Very cool. I'm glad y'all are digging it and getting into it. Yeah. Here you go. You know, some of the Borges editions are wonderful, especially with the poetry. Like I noticed that they'll publish a dual language for poetry. Right? There you go, baby. All right. So there's your Borges. I'm putting it here. I'm not keeping my book of sand out. We've seen that before. Tonight is all about the new. And I tell you, what have I shown you? 3 books? We're halfway there. We're halfway there, y'all. Halfway there, and at 34 minutes, I think we're doing good. Oh, okay. So I'm going to preface this next one. I'm going to preface these next, going into the next thing. And I'm going to give you a little hint. All right. I read Gene Wolfe's Book of the New Sun, and I read The Earth of the New Sun. That's 5 books together. It's one of the most awesome kind of sci-fi, fantasy epics that I've read. It really felt like 2 books. Book of the New Sun is 1 book. Earth of the New Sun is the 2nd book. That's what it felt like to me. but there is so much packed in it that I can't believe that that would be one book, or that you could ever get it. It's like some Faulkner, like it's on a level of Faulkner. Gene Wolfe is, because of how he writes, and it took me a while to get into Gene Wolfe, but by the time I read Earth of the New Sun, I love Gene Wolfe. I love Gene Wolfe. I need more Gene Wolfe, and I'll go for whatever I can get, right? So, there's Book of the New Sun and Earth of the New Sun, and then after that, I had found this in a used bookstore a couple of months ago, a few months ago, maybe 6 months ago at this point, right? This is Litany of the Long Sun. This is another series that he wrote that's 4 books, kind of like how he did Book of the New Sun, right? But called the Book of the Long Sun. The Book of the Long Sun is 4 books. This is a bind up of the last 2 books in the Books of the Long Sun. So with this, in this, I have Night Side of the Long Sun and Lake of the Long Sun. And with books 3 and 4, or 1 and 2. I'm sorry. This is book 1 and 2 of the series, The Books of the Long Sun, right? Are we all sufficiently confused yet? Oh well, I'm trying to lay it out, but all good. Thank you, baby. I appreciate that. Nice. Yeah, I mean, I've seen you reading it, brother. For sure. Man, what a freaking book. I'd love to get on and talk about it with you if you want to do some content together. I can't wait to get into Fifth Head of Cerebus. Okay, so the Long Sun might be something that I get into. We're gonna do the Book of the New Sun. We're gonna do the Book of the New Sun and Earth of the New Sun. Talking. I want to, for sure, because it's just amazing. And let's just freaking go at it, right? This is an online bookseller, and I'll go ahead and give it to you again. Y'all go over and look at what she's got. It's unbelievable. There you go. I'm gonna put it up on the screen. There you go. That on Instagram, rare_vintage books. Okay, so here we go. Okay, I have the first 2 books of the Books of the Long Sun there in that bind up. So I went ahead and saw these and grabbed them. This is Calde of the Long Sun, the 3rd book in the series, The Book of the Long Sun. Of course, what this is a first edition. I mean, what this bookseller has is insanity. Look at this edition. Feast your eyes. Okay. I have the first 2 books in that bind up. So this is the 3rd book, and I'll go ahead and show you the 4th book. Cuz she has all of it. She has the Book of the New Sun, all 4 volumes, first editions. I've seen them. She has them. If you want them. And some of them are signed. I mean, she has signed Gene Wolfe's. It's insanity. So I got volume 3 and 4 of the Books of the Long Sun, so that I can go through. Now I can go through Litany of the Long Sun. Those are the first 2 books, and I can finish it up. So I'll go through another series of Gene Wolfe. I can't wait. Gene Wolfe is crazy. Look how amazing. I mean, Tom, I'm telling you, all her books are in great shape. It's private collections that she's bought her books from. Look at these covers, bro. I mean, for real. Look at these. You see that? You see it? Do you see the spines? I promised you an epic haul, BookTube. I promised you an epic haul, booktube. How amazing is that, right? Mm. You know, the thing about booktube about Gene Wolfe, and there you go. You said it, Mark. We should do it. We should do it. Yeah. The thing about Gene Wolfe is even in Book of the New Sun, it says how he's written so many short stories. He's written over 100 short stories, right? And I've never seen short story collections from him in a bookstore for less than, $100 or more, right? That's right. They're in great shape, brother. So, I found a book called Endangered Species in a used bookstore. You might have seen it on one of my reels. Gene Wolfe, it was like Heritage Press edition, so one of these leather bound and signed. And the crazy book lady up there in Cartersville, she wanted $250 for that book. So of course I didn't go for it, right? But to speak to rare underscore vintage books, there's a short story collection that she has that's signed called Planet Engineering. It's awesome. It's actually called Plant Engineering, and the E is kind of like put in brackets, so it makes it Planet Engineering. And Gene Wolfe was really, really interested in this eco engineering, bio evolution kind of stuff. And it's really interesting how these things play in Book of the New Sun and in Earth of the New Sun, and is reminiscent of Olaf Stapleton. This kind of where human or animal and plant, the distinction between animal and plant is very gray. And that's the truth, right? The distinction between animal and plant is very gray. We have animals, insects especially, that are like plants, right? Think of a leaf bug or a stick bug kind of thing, right? Wolf was an engineer. That's right. And we have these kind of, a Venus flytrap. We have plants that act very animalistic, what we would consider animalistic, right? That eats, that hunts and eats or sets a trap, right? And vines are this way. And there's the way that plants and animals kind of weave in and out of each other is something that Wolfe and Olaf Stapleton were both very interested in. And they kind of they have a conversation. Kudzu, there you go. The invasive hellish species, just take over a whole take over a whole place. Hey Deb. Hey, I didn't say hey to Deb. I wanted to holler out. I really enjoy that you guys come by and support the channel. All right. So I got one more to show, and I hope that this is delivered on the epic unboxing action. Since I've hyped it enough, I'll go ahead and let you know that I got a short story collection of Gene Wolfe's. This is called Stories from the Old Hotel by Gene Wolfe. Caracina Books, London. Right? I know. This is a UK edition, of course. I mean, I think all of the Olaf Stapletons and this Gene Wolfe are all three UK editions. This is first edition, 1988 by Gene Wolfe. Let's take a look at the book. I'm going to take the book cover off and show you. Stories from the Old Hotel. I love how all of it is is in, lowercase lettering. Nice little soft soft blue, but kind of electric. So I love the creepy uh creepy visuals. We have some kind of threading going over a mouth here, an eye, but it's in stone. It kind of looks like carving a stone. Weird. But here it says Gene Wolfe is one of the truly great masters of contemporary science fiction and fantasy. In this new and wonderfully varied selection of stories, his first hardcover collection to be published in Great Britain, there is something to please and delight everyone. No other writer has the inherent ability to mix genres as deftly and as flawlessly as Wolfe. From the magical fantasies, The Green Rabbit from Saran and Choice of the Black Goddess, to the eerie otherness of Redbeard and Death of the Island Doctor and The Recording, the Homelician whimsy of Slaves of Silver and The Rubber Bend, to gothic imagery of the marvelous brass chess playing automaton. I'm down for that. I love some chess, you know it. Um, the whole gamut of fantastic writing is explored here with grace, subtlety, and wit. Gene Wolfe has never been better from than in never been in better form than in these 34 short stories dating from his earliest published writings to the present day. That's 1988. Whether your preference is for science fiction, fantasy, horror, or even detective fiction, this book holds enough wonders to fuel a month full of dreams. So, yeah, this is Kerosena Books put out London. There's just a huge even bibliography here of books you can never get your hands on, right? It's ridiculous. Oh, it's ridiculous. Yes. That's what I'm talking about, guys. Who's the cover artist? Let's see. Stories from the old hotel. Let's see if we got a this book has been limited to 1276 copies. So there's only 1276 copies of this printing of this edition. It's just why 26 copies quarter bound in leather have been reserved for private distribution. 250 have been specially bound, signed and numbered, and with a slipcase. And this is obviously just a kind of regular first edition, right? I'm not seeing a credit for the uh, cover at all. Let's see if I can see it on the back flap. There we go. Dust jacket illustration is Pete Lyon. I'll put it in the. Hey Rick, happy Friday, bro. Pete Lyon. There we go. Pete Lyon did a good job for it, right? 1988 for Kerosena Publications Limited. So I can't wait. I mean, I that's what I wanted to get my hands on some Gene Wolfe short stories, right? Just to see. I mean, a lot of Book of the New Sun can be kind of turned short story. You know, there's these kind of short stories here. So hey Rick, happy Friday, brother. Thank you for coming by and seeing my crazy haul, man. It's been nuts. This is the last book. I don't even know what to say about it when it comes down to um certain short stories that are great, but I'll just show you and you can watch it if you want, and you can kind of pause it and see some of some of the stories, right? Till Mill Gaming, I said hello. I love it. All right. So, one that stuck out just by name to me is a book, short story here called "A Solar Labyrinth." Right? Because there's a piece of literary criticism written about Gene Wolfe's Book of the New Sun that is called "The Solar Labyrinth," and obviously that writer is hearkening to that short story. So, just something that I kind of understood. Thank you very much, Mark. If you think I've done a good job, I feel a sense of accomplishment. I tell you, because you are old hat at the book love. Really understand and got it. So I'm glad I could show some cool stuff tonight. This this freaking uh this freaking book haul has been amazing. And I'm just gonna set it up. Okay. Gene Wolfe stuff is so hard to get your hands on. I'm gonna just set it up here and then and then I'll just show a little bit on our way out, right? Because we're almost on our way out. I hope that you enjoyed this book too and enjoyed the level that I'm putting our book hauls on. I don't want to see no slacking. If you come with a book haul, best come correct, right? I'm just kidding. Of course, I love to see any kind of hauls that you want. Any kind of hauls that people get because I love looking at books. So it's all good. But check out rare_vintage books. Please do it. Thanks, Ivan. Very cool. Yeah. Library of America should publish Wolf. Somebody should publish Wolf in a way that is totally available for everybody because his stuff is so hard to get your hands on that it's just completely ridiculous is what it comes down to. Okay, there we go. So there is this is the epic book haul action. We have 6 books. She's got a lot more where this came from. And I'm pretty happy. Thank you very much, Josh. You're the man. Happy Friday, everybody. I have seen some Book of the Short Sun action, but I don't own it. I don't have any of the Book of the Short Suns. But I tell you what, I'm gonna read Book of the Long Sun. I'm gonna read the series now that I got the whole thing. And I might go ahead and get the Book of the Short Sun and go for it. I mean, it's so amazing. Thank you very much, baby. I love you, Emily. All right. I'll show y'all a little bit closer. And we're gonna end it. So happy Friday, y'all. I'm glad y'all came by. I always love my supporters. Love all of y'all. Thank you very much. And here we go. Bye bye, BookTube.